I feel like 30 feels like quite a milestone. Is there anything about sort of that that particular moment that makes you reflect on like where you're at and what you've done?
Yeah, I think it all just kind of stems from, my parents and like looking at them growing up because I'm a child of the, the early 90s and, back then, people were getting married and, having kids by like 23, 24 and whatnot. They're married and, have like a house or a mortgage or whatever it is. So like looking at it in today's perspective, I feel like even when you turn 30, like people still look at you as a child or they, unless you have like all your shit together. So I was like, here I am turning 30, like I just got my first place and with my brother too. So it's like it was the only way I could make it work. Like getting my own place in New Jersey was like, having a roommate and kind of just so happened that my brother also needed a place. So we were like, let's just make it happen. But I'm like, here I am at 30, like I'm single, like I'm not married, I don't have like a kid. Like it was just like almost kind of looking at it like I'm not quite where I envisioned myself as a kid. Like when I looked at myself and I was like, when I'm 30, I'm going to be playing rock and roll in stadiums and I'm going to be living my dream like all the time and expecting to just do music full time and kind of being where my parents were at when they were 30. And you know, over time, I just kind of came to terms with, you don't need to set like a time limit for like all of these things to happen, or you don't need to set an expectation of like, well, I have to have this by 30 or have to have this by 35 or 25 even. Like, I just kind of looked at it as like, well, I'm glad I'm at where I'm at. It's not exactly where I thought I was going to be, but I'm grateful for everything that I have done, experienced, and what I still will experience because even though I'm 30, I feel no different than I did really at, 25. Like I still feel full of life and I've, you know, been to Europe twice with my band and, I've met a lot of amazing, people like doing what I do you know, and like I have a job that values me, and lets me tour as well. So I was like, screw the whole like what could have been like, at your idea of what 30 should be, and just look at what you have now, and I'm grateful for it. I do have my own place, and I do, have good things like going in music. Not exactly where I thought I would be when I was like 6 years old, but I'm still making uncompromised music, stuff that I and the rest of my band enjoy. And, there are people out there who like what I do and they want to see it and they want to hear more stuff. And I'm just grateful that I even have that, because even that sometimes it feels like an unattainable goal,